Hi everybody, Alex Employee here from Expert Forex, and in today's video we're going to show you how to find the very best Forex account for your Forex trading. Now accompanying me today is Denzel, who's here purely in a motivational capacity. Hi Denzel. So firstly, let's look at why it is important to select the very best broker and best Forex trading account. On your screen, you can see some unfortunate events that's happened to me, in fact, where a broker stole $5,000 in 3 minutes. I really do recommend that you watch this video. I managed to record it on video, the actual stealing of the money. There was no excuse, because I had it recorded. In fact, the video went to #1 in Google when searching for that particular broker, and I closed the 2 brokers involved because of that video going to #1 on YouTube. Then there's another one, again you can go and watch for the details of that particular occasion, and then there's another video which you can go and watch to find the details of that particular occasion. But I would seriously suggest that you watch these videos after watching this particular one. Now, many traders were involved in the Alpari UK closure, and what happened there is that the Swiss franc decided to revalue overnight with no warning whatsoever, and a lot of brokers were affected by it. In fact, Alpari UK were caught with their pants down and they had to close. And I was heavily involved in Alpari UK because they were the best broker at that time. I had traded with them for about 8 years with no problems whatsoever, and it was just a beautiful relationship, and it was quite sad that they went under. So just be aware there are things that are under our control and there are things that are not under our control, and we're going to look at some of the things that are under our control in this video. Now, before we go into that, there's a lot of broker discussion that happens on our 2 forums. Here's one, a detailed one. I'm not going to go through it, but it's comparing number of brokers to each other, and the forum members actually discovering that no broker is the same. And I just want to point that out. If for more information, go to our forum and you can find out a lot of discussion, and you can also participate in those discussions regarding brokers. Okay, so every day we get email saying, what is the best broker for me? And that is literally the question. Please suggest a broker for me. The people that are asking that question don't realize how complicated broker selection is. You cannot say, oh, I like Pepperstone, therefore you should use it. It doesn't work that way because there's so many factors that have to be taken into account. So let's have a look at some of the factors, and I'm just go through them one by one. Your location is #1. If somebody from the South America, or even worse, the United States of America, asks me which broker I'm using, that is totally irrelevant to them. So your location is very important. Your location is also important because you're going to be transferring funds from your location to the broker's location. You must know that whether those countries are compatible and easy to deal with in terms of money returning and all that type of thing. So location is most probably the most important one, and that is the one thing that people asking which is the best broker never tell us. So they have no idea how important that particular item is. Then your risk profile. Are you a gambler or an investor, or are you a trader? It all boils down to your risk profile, and you're going to be selecting different brokers for those different strategies. So your investor profile is important, or your risk profile is important. Your preferences in terms of, do you need a lot of accounts? Do you need a few accounts? Are you trading a lot of money? Are you looking for brokers with no spreads, or very little spreads, or commission only brokers? Those kind of preferences are important. I don't know what those preferences are when you ask me what is the best broker. You need to sort that out for yourself. Then your investment size is important. The brokers offer special deals for larger investors. They offer special deals for smaller investors. There are now 1 cent accounts, which are fantastic for the smaller investor that wants to trade a whole lot of robots at the same time, or wants to trade a whole lot of techniques at the same time. So 1 cent accounts have also, so your investment is important. Then broker restrictions. So people don't realize there are lots of broker restrictions. Some brokers will not allow you to open a number of deals. In other words, some say you can't exceed 50 open deals at a time and that type of thing. So you need to know what your broker restrictions. There are lot size restrictions. For instance, certain brokers will not allow 0.01 lots. They'll only allow 0.1. So you need to know what your broker restrictions are. And another restriction that's very important, which will come up later on, is your withdrawal restrictions. Some brokers say you cannot withdraw money out of an account that has an open deal. Now that has caught a lot of people in the past, so watch that one very carefully. Some brokers are relaxed in that area, other ones aren't. Then your country restrictions. I've already mentioned the USA. They have LIFO hedging. They've got leverage restrictions, that type of thing. So it all depends where you are in the world. And quite honestly, the UK has got different ones from the US, and ours is going to get different ones from the others. So your location is very important. Again, of the broker that you use. You might be located in the UK and you might be using an Oz broker because the restrictions are different, but be aware of country restrictions and the developments within that country. Regulation, again, a lot of traders prefer the regulated brokers, and in fact when Alpari went down in the UK, I got a huge percentage of my money back from them because they were regulated and protected. Okay, then there's portability, and that's becoming a huge issue at this stage because people are using their mobile phones, their iPads, their laptops, their desktops, their VPSs, and they're using all of these devices to log into each other through TeamViewer or other methods. So portability is becoming quite an issue. Some people like looking at their portfolio on the train to work and that type of thing. So that might be a factor for you. Does your broker allow portability? Does it have apps that allow this kind of communication? Now, anti-money laundering is a universal requirement of brokers. Now, if you are using a broker that's slack in this area, it should ring some alarm bells. But brokers these days are under immense regulations, so they will ask you all kinds of documents and that type of thing. So expect that. Just deliver the documents they need. They are even more stricter than a bank. They will ask you about your grandmother, and they might even ask about her mother. But just do it, because there's two processes. You open an account and you close or withdraw money. So you have to have that documentation in place to deal with the broker requirements. And it's not the broker, it's actually the legislation in the country that the broker operates that require those kind of requirements. So when you look at customer feedback from brokers, this is the area that customers don't understand. They say, oh, the broker won't give my money back, but they don't realize that when they opened the account, they did it so badly that their documents are either out of date or something like that, and they're not actually complaining against the brokers. They're claiming against the legislation that the broker has to adhere to. So bear that in mind when you look at evaluations by customers, because the customers are often the ones that are wrong in that respect. Then the next point is spread stability. Now that is a huge area because spreads in general, when I started trading, all the spreads were fixed. Now in general, most of the spreads are flexible and variable. So that causes all kinds of problems, and it's invariably not the broker that's driving that variability. It's the actual liquidity provider behind the broker that is managing spreads in terms of the liquidity situation in the market. Now, just a while ago, about 2 weeks ago, we brought out this free tool that tells you what your broker is charging you on a continuous basis. So on average it might be 3 pips, the lowest it might be 2 pips, but the highest might be 20 pips. You don't know it until you've put this tool in that actually spies on what the broker is doing for you. And since we've put this in, people have been shocked. Their feet have been curled up like fists. They got such a shock by using this particular tool. So go ahead, download this tool, run it for a week, and you too might get the surprise of your life. So spread stability is very important. Now, weekend cutoffs isn't a major selection criteria, but if you are using EAs and you're using set files of EAs, you must realize that you are not going to get the same results as the set file that has been provided by your EA provider or by your friendly trading buddy. Depends on whether the weekend cutoffs are in line, but that's not all, but that's one of the factors you need to bear in mind. Now, I've already mentioned withdrawal policies. Really read those withdrawal policies very well. You might get caught, and that's another thing. Oh, my broker's not refunding me, but he's got open deals, but he doesn't say that when he's reporting it to Forex Peace Army or somebody like that. They keep the critical information away, and they make the broker look like it's a scam broker, but in fact it's their stupidity that's doing it. Now, automation and ease of use is also becoming incredibly important in this day and age. I have broker accounts where I have no contact with the broker. I submit my documents on an automatic. I open as many free live accounts as I want. I transfer funds between those live. I withdraw the funds out myself using the facility provided on my account. Absolute 100% automation. Fantastic, really, and that's the way to go, and maybe that's a factor that you should bear in mind. Really easy to use. You can literally open accounts and close them, open demo accounts and close them, and you don't need to talk to the broker. Reliability of price feed is also a factor, because there are certain brokers where there have been spikes in some of the price feeds. So there's an actual error, a unit error or something like that, and suddenly the price would spike to a level that it shouldn't be at, and then come back straight away or something like that. And what will happen is all your deals will get stopped out, or you'll hit your targets, or vice versa. A lot of people think these things are bad. Often it's to your advantage, but sometimes it isn't. So just be aware of that. When something like that happens, contact your broker, say, look, this is what's happened, and the broker would probably sort that out for you. But these spikes do happen from time to time. At the moment, price feeds are fairly stable, but they do happen. Must warn you about that. And they happen with certain brokers and not with others. Now, demo accounts, I've also made a video about that, where if you want to open a whole lot of demo accounts, certain brokers will allow that and others will not. Others will only allow you a limited number of demo accounts, but also only limited maybe to 30 days, and after 30 days they close the account. So watch that. And then the last thing is customers' feedback. And I have already mentioned, go and Google, go to YouTube, go to Forex Peace Army, find out what the ratings are of these various brokers, but don't take the ratings at face value. Go and look at the actual comments that come through, and you might find that a lot of the negative comments come through from uneducated traders that don't really know what's going on. Now, this isn't a comprehensive and an exhaustive list. This is one that I've just actually thrown together for this video. There might be a few important points that I've missed out. If there are, just mention them in the comment facility to this video, and we'll get a discussion going. So in terms of broker selection, don't be lazy. Take responsibility for your own decisions. That's another question we get. Which broker do you use? And obviously, it's irrelevant if the person's in the US or wherever. So take responsibility for your own decisions. There's a lot of self-education that has to happen in this area, and you have to do your own due diligence. open demo accounts, see what the broker's like and to deal with, and then move into live accounts or that kind of thing. But certainly the decision on which broker to use is yours, and the responsibility falls squarely on your shoulders. And that is one of the reasons why we're not heavily into promoting specific brokers, because that's what we did with Alpari. We were so happy with Alpari, we promoted them, and look what happened. And then the clients come back to me and say, look what you've done to us, type of thing. Now, there are many broker review sites around, but I like using this one, the Top Forex Brokers Review, and there are various areas that you can go into. You can look at what they recommend as the best Forex broker. You can look at which ones they say don't go anywhere close to. You can look at the top 10. And here's one that's very interesting. You can look at brokers by country. Now, that's, I found, is very irrelevant. And as I've mentioned, your country or your location is very important. There's also account types. There's so many accounts. Within a broker, you can find a whole lot of different account types that will give you different results depending on your nature of trading. Some are commission only, some are commission and pips, some are some are pips only or spread only. So really you need to do your homework even within a particular broker that you may have selected. So this is a really good site to go and visit, and the link to the site will be in the description of the video as well as in the first comment of the video. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope I've given you some ideas about broker selection and account selection, and I've given you a bit of a checklist there. It might grow into a much longer one depending on the comments that I get on this particular video, but this is an important area to your Forex trading and also to the results that you get in your Forex trading. We have a number of clients trading a number of brokers, and strangely enough, they're using one broker for one particular trading approach, and then they're using another broker for another trading approach, and so on. So they've actually learned the strengths and weaknesses of these brokers, and these guys are posting on our forum, so please go to the forums and have a look at that. Also visit these broker review sites. You can short-circuit your shortlist very quickly by using those kind of websites. So from me, Alex Deploy, thank you very much for watching this video, and cheerio.